for the Chris Street tie. On the way, good. 34 consecutive free throws by Jordan Bohannon ties Chris Street's mark set back in 1992-93.
Chris Street's arrival in Iowa City was no surprise. The Indianola All-State football and basketball player had been a Hawkeye fan all his life. He was the heart and soul of the team, the young man who lived his childhood dreams every time he put on the black and gold.
I knew of Chris Street kind of when I first stepped on campus, but as I grew a little older, my freshman year, going to my sophomore year, I kind of learned more about their family, about his story, honestly, and it really touched me emotionally because I kind of felt like I was in the same shoes he was because I'm a hometown kid. I grew up here.
Don Davis 5-7 against the Cyclones in his tenure at Iowa.
Everybody knew about him by the time he was, developing in high school. In a state like Iowa, if you get somebody talented, where the word gets around in a hurry.
Never going to be as good as you were in high school. I don't think anybody on the, in any of the freshman classes come in and did better than they did in high school, or even just as good. I just need to improve every game.
Chris Street put himself in the Iowa record books in what would be his last college game. Saturday at Duke, his 2 free throws gave him 34 straight, a new Iowa record.
The most important thing that you want people to remember your child is the type of person they are. It's just not the basketball player. The most important is being that kind person.
He was a great player, but an even better person. Sort of typified the characteristics of what you want as a coach, as a parent, as a fan. So when he was taken from us, it had a lasting impact.
It's still hard for me to talk about.
It was a night where there was some chances of snow, and so there were the sand trucks, snow plows were out, and we got a phone call. Oh man, in our dorm room, and they just said it's an emergency meeting, and we just knew that something was wrong. We lost a teammate, we lost a brother.
Christopher's gym was built probably 20 years ago, so it was added on to this way. We've got a trophy case here with some pictures and some stats, and this is his last game against Duke. His score sheet where he set the record in free throws. He was 2 for 2, was all. That's all he needed, I guess, to set and tie and break it. So
Chris never got to shoot the next free throw. And so who knows what that streak would have been.
The record, records are made to be broken, and it's kind of funny how long some records stand until someone comes along and breaks them.
For several games, he just kept making them. So we knew, there was going to be a good possibility that he would break it.
So here is a chance for Jordan Bohannon to become the all-time consecutive made free throw shooter in Iowa basketball history. He tied Chris Street in the first half at 34. He gets the 1-and-1 here to break the record. Takes flight, and it's way short. Way short.
How about that?
Those would have been 2 big free throws, too. 73-65, Iowa.
after he missed it, Patty looked at me and said, "Did he miss that on purpose?" And I said, "I don't think so. I think he just fouled hard." Well, it was obviously, when you look back, it was he'd missed it on purpose. I mean, he's such a pure shooter.
The entire gym knew, and for him, it wasn't even about the attention. He didn't need any of that. If no one ever found out about it, he wouldn't have cared. The remembrance of who it was for and who should really be holding that record and who wasn't allowed to further that record is what meant more to Jordan than anything.
The game ends, we're walking off the floor, and there are Chris's mom and dad, and it was really, really emotional for them, especially Patty.
We're happy for you, and now you're tied.
So you have two Iowa kids, very similar qualities, grew up in Iowa, wanted to wear the black and gold, wanted to be Hawks, and one honoring the other.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he didn't miss it on purpose, to be quite honest with you. He did? Yeah, well, that's...
Jordan, we didn't want him to. I didn't know. But it's his kind of person he was. But we...
Well, thanks, Jordan, but by golly, next time when you get up there, just go on. I'll say that. Just go on. That's
he wants me to break it. He said right after the game when he found out, he said, if you get to that point again, I want you to break it. And I told him, I said, with all due respect, I don't think I can do that. And I think they accepted it, but I'm hopefully I can get to that streak again and get to 34. I think that'd be pretty special to do it again, but I know that record deserves to be held in his name, and it should be forever.